My Hero Academia is one of the most popular anime of our generation, and some even consider part of the new big three. And as you can tell if you've been watching my videos, I'm obviously a pretty big fan. And speaking of watching my videos, if you've been watching my videos, you will notice that the past handful of videos have been My Hero Academia themed. And if you can tell from the title and thumbnail, we'll be continuing that theme today with our iconic tier list, ranking 20 of the villains' pro names, of course including the League of Villains, as I promised in my last video, which was where I ranked the prominent pro heroes. Now, as I also mentioned in the last video, this will most likely be my last My Hero video for a while, because I do want to spin the block on some other animes, you know, like Dragon Ball Z, as I have mentioned, especially with Dragon Ball coming out with 3 new projects. I kind of want to go back to talking about them, doing some tier ranks, tier lists about them, and maybe even Naruto. So if you really like My Hero Academia content, then make sure to let me know in the comments if I should continue doing it, or you can go back and watch the ones you haven't watched already. And you know, my shorts are always here too, so you know, you can keep watching my shorts and stuff. Speaking of commenting and watching my videos, if you're ready to get into this video, today's content, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to join GLD, and to let me know you like this type of content. And since you like this type of content, make sure to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the content that you literally like. It could be anybody. It could be your brother, sister, niece, nephew, son, daughter, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandma, granddad. So as you can see right here, we are back with our iconic tier list with the top 20 villains. Well, I don't know if there's essentially top 20, but the 20 that I know the most about, from this dude all the way up to All For One, or one for the bad one. Okay, the bad, the not all, the bad All Might. They need to, I always mix the two up. They need to choose better names. Okay, One For All For One, All Might, One Might. Yeah, they didn't do a too good job right there, because that's too confusing. But either way, we're going to be doing 1 through 20, obviously following the same parameters that I always do in every single video. And speaking of the parameters, I'm gonna get right into that right after I'm gonna go explain our ranking system. So I always use the same exact ranking system, which is based on a gacha ranking system, specifically Dragon Ball Dokkan and Dragon Ball Legends, the mobile games, which is hence why the top tier is Z, because Dragon Ball Z. Let me go ahead and get right into that. So Z is essentially perfect. It matches all 3 parameters perfectly, essentially 0 flaws. And of course, culturally Japanese embedded names are going to be prioritized, since this is a Japanese show made by Japanese people for Japanese people, right? And not just in real life, but within the show. These are all Japanese characters, every single one, except for like Stars and Stripes or whatever, and maybe even Aoyama. I think he's like supposed to be French or foreign in some way. But either way, next up we have UR, which is essentially the same thing, but it is more or less missing 1 or 2 things that's holding it back. Usually just coolness, but it's essentially the same thing as Z, it's just not exactly perfect. Next up we have SSR, which is essentially great. So it's just a great name. Like it's not perfect, it could be a little bit better, but it's great. Okay, it's a great name, it fits. Next up we have SR, which is good, solid, works, could be a lot better. It essentially is a halfway point. Okay, it's as equally as good as it's equally bad, as in it equally fits, but it equally could be better. Then we have R, which is mid, which means it has a lot of work to do. Now, I know mid is supposed to be middle, but I think solid would be better than mid, right? Mid is more like it could be a lot better, but it somewhat works. And then N is just no. It's essentially reserved, this spot is typically reserved for people that just use their name. You know, spoiler alert, our boy Shiggy most likely might be down here, because it's not creative at all, it's just their name. Like it doesn't really count, to be honest. So now we'll go on and move on to our 3 parameters that I always use. So number 1 is practicality. Practicality is essentially how conventional the name is. And when I mean conventional, I mean, for example, in class 1A, we have people like Tailman, who follows the naming convention of Iron Man, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man. So there's a precedent for it. So essentially it makes it like, oh, it's easy to follow, right? Because it's easy to follow, easy to track, it's catchy, everybody knows what it is, it's very easily consumable. So essentially names that are overly creative, like Gévaudan, which is a French term, aren't gonna be as high. I mean, they're really cool, so they're gonna be somewhat high, but it's like, what even is a Gévaudan? Unless you're French, and that name specifically targets an era in French history. So unless you're like a French history nerd, you're probably not going to know what Gévaudan is. So that's essentially what practicality is, right? And you'll see later in this list. Next up, we have compatibility. Essentially, does the quirk match the name? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. So if I shoot fireballs out of my hands, I'm not going to call myself Iceman. That's stupid. That's essentially what number 2 is, compatibility. Then last up, number 3, why'd I do it like that? Looks like a damn trident, like I'm Poseidon or some shit. I think this is also what's the ASU, the Arizona State Sun Devils. I think that's their hand symbol or whatever, like go Sun Devils. I almost went there actually for college. My mom goes there, so went there. So sponsor me, please.
I know you got the money. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can get a bag.
Anyways, those are essentially our 3 parameters. Now let's get that yapathon out the way and let's get straight into the rankings. Starting off, we got our boy Skeptic. So I'm gonna put him like about right here, and he's from the Meta Liberation Army arc, and he's the hacker, right? I think he was originally working for Redestro, and then he moves on to work for our boy Shiggy. Yeah, so he's a hacker. Now listen, his name. So let's start off with his practicality. So practicality, I mean, the word skeptic is kind of just a word. And if you look into the etymology of the word, the meaning of skeptic, a person who is skeptic is a person that is quite mistrusting of information, especially who and where the information is coming from. So if I'm a skeptic, usually in terms of politics, from the government or media, and so a skeptic is somebody that mistrusts information. So it doesn't entirely match, it's not entirely practical. And so for him, he's not, I don't know too much about his character, but I'm sure he's skeptic of the current hero system, as he is a villain in the Meta Liberation Army, and now for Shiggy. So he's most likely skeptic in that way, but also he's a hacker. So he's the one that's producing the misinformation, or just information that most people won't trust because he's a villain. They're probably saying that he is a skeptic because he's skeptical of the current regime, the current status quo, but he's also he's the one that's producing the information that is skeptical. I think it really fits and matches his quirk, because his quirk is, being a hacker. He can anything technological he can hack. And then it's a pretty cool name. I think it's pretty solid. I'll probably put it like it's between SR and SSR. I think I'm gonna leave it here. I think it's solid. I don't think it's amazing, because I think there are just better names out there, but I think it's solid. I might move it up. So if you are a big fan of this dude, sorry if this is too low for you. But then, anyways, next up we got our boy Twice. So Twice, I'm gonna put a bit lower, just because off the cuff, his name is pretty simple. In terms of practicality, obviously it's practical because it's just a word, twice, 2, second. It's easy to say, obviously. In terms of compatibility, it's literally what his quirk is. He clones himself, so he could just he can clone himself once, and so then now he has 2 clones. 2 of those clones can clone themselves once, so on and so forth, right? And so it's literally just what his quirk is. So it's not the most complicated, right? It's just twice. It's like if his name was double. It's not that cool of a name, because it's just a word, twice, right? Like I am twice, I can duplicate myself. So it's not the craziest name, but it works. It's solid. I might bump it down, probably not up, but watch to the end of the video, because usually I make a lot of changes towards the end of the video. So if my list looks crazy, just wait to the end, and I'll splice it up a little bit better. I'll refine it. With that being said, next up we got our boy Mr. Compress. So I'm gonna put it up here just because it's a little bit cooler, because it's a little bit more practical. And what I mean by that is it follows already existing or preceding naming conventions, like your boy Mr. Fantastic, right? The existing superhero, right, of the Fantastic Four. So Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Compress, same thing with Battle Fist, like our girl Kendo from Class 1B, and Iron Fist, you know, the Kung Fu dude or whatever from Marvel or DC, whatever it is. So we got Mr. Compressed like Mr. Fantastic. So it's obviously much better here. It's already more practical than these two because it already exists. There's already a precedent for it. So it's going to be easier to remember and catchier. Mr. Compress sounds cool and professional. Speaking of coolness, it just sounds really cool to me. So number 2, compatibility. The best way I can describe it is essentially, if you've ever seen Dragon Ball, he does essentially what Capsule Corp does. Essentially, he can shrink things, anything, into these little balls. So he has like these little balls, kind of like beads, kind of like these black little beads, and he could just throw them. And then he could, essentially like a Pokeball, he could trap things inside it and then throw, stuff comes out. It could be people. I think he usually uses it for transporting his people, but he can also put different objects in there, like when they were trying to make a getaway and he just threw it and like a big ass like rock came out, or like a bunch of cargo or something when they were trying to make a getaway on a truck with a Dobby. So yeah, so he can compress things into these little beads and then he can throw them out, usually for transporting people or for putting objects to attack enemies. So I mean, it works perfectly for his quirk, and I already said it sounds really cool and it's very practical because you have people like Mr. Fantastic. So Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Compress, you can see the resemblance there. So, and that's what I mean by practicality. So moving on, we got our boy Kurogiri. I do not believe he has an actual pro name. I believe he's just called Kurogiri. So of course, as I mentioned, that being said, since it's just his name, he's got to go down here because your name being your hero name or pro name, villain name, does not count. It's like when you do an assignment in class and you just put like your name, you just don't put your name on the top of the paper because you forget. It's blank. It doesn't count. It's not a villain specific name. It's just your name. So moving on. So next up we got our boy Kai Chisaki, one of my favorite villains in MHA, and I think I share that sentiment with a lot of other MHA fans. Overhaul. I think I'm gonna put it up over here. It might move up, might move down. We'll see. So overhaul. Let's start off with practicality. So practicality, it's not the most practical because I'm not sure I know too many superheroes or supervillains that have a similar name to Overhaul. Overhaul is a word, like it's 2 words, over and haul, right? Like haul, like loading something up or something that is loaded up, and then over, like it's overloaded up, right? So like overloading things, right? It is fairly practical because it's just like a word, or it's 2 words put together, but it does also really match his quirk because the way his quirk works is, long story less long, he can dismantle and reassemble literally anything pretty much on an anatomic level or molecular level, whichever one, atomic level. So like for example, this mic, he could take this mic and reassemble it into something. It's kind of like Full Metal Alchemist, where it's like the law of equivalent exchange, where like it has to be the same thing. So it's like similar size. So like my boy Vaporeon right here, he can't turn this into a giant Vaporeon drag. I mean, at least physically, unless there's like magic involved and it's all bullshit, but like in terms of physics, you can't create something out of something that doesn't exist, right? So like if I were to reassemble this, I'd have to reassemble it with the matter that already exists inside of it, right? Like I couldn't create a bigger thing if the thing is small, right? Unless it's just magic and physics doesn't apply to the quirk. Either way, he can disassemble things and reassemble things. Kind of like that one guy. Or there's Adam Eve in Invincible, but there's another guy in like DC or Marvel. He's like an Atom guy. I forget his name, but either way, really compatible with his quirk. It is a really cool name. It's just not the most practical. I mean, it is practical because it's just a word, but doesn't follow any other superhero conventions that I know of. If it does, let me know down in the comments. And also, while you're down in the comments, let me know your favorite superhero in DC, Marvel, Invincible, whatever show or comics you like. Let me know your favorite superhero, or even freaking The Boys, whatever it is. Next up, we got a boy Gentle. I don't remember his actual name, but I'm gonna probably put right here, like it's mid, because it's just gentleman, but take off the man. So it's just gentle, right? So it's literally just a word, so it is practical because it's literally just a word, gentle. It does match his quirk pretty well though. He can turn air buoyant or elastic, right? So like when Deku, like if Deku try to punch him, he can turn the air around in between them elastic. So when Deku punches, he just bounces off like it's a fucking ceramic wrap. And so that makes work. It's gentle. Don't hit me. I'm not gonna hit you. And yeah, so I mean, it pretty works. It's just not cool because it's just a word. And speaking of which, let's just go ahead and move on to La Brava. I'm gonna put her up. So La Brava does follow superhero conventions. I just don't remember which superhero off the top of the chrome, but you know, it's kind of like those. When I think of La Brava, I think of like not like a Catwoman, but if you ever seen the Persona series, if you know anything about like Persona 5, there's a character in it. I think her name is La Noire or something like that. I think she has one of those names where it's like a female superhero or like a vigilante, and she's like La Noire, you know what I mean, like one of those like old-timey kind of vigilante woman, you know what I mean. Hopefully you know what I mean, but either way, that's what she reminds me of. And her quirk is that anybody she comes in contact with that she loves, they get a power boost essentially. So Brava is Spanish, which I mean La Brava, the brave, because La is the feminine version of the in Spanish, and Brava is brave, so it's the brave or the fierce, the courageous, right? So La Brava is the courageous one that is a woman, the courageous person that is a woman, because it's the feminine version. Because it'd be like if it was El Brava, it will be El Bravo, which is the brave, quote unquote, man, or in parentheses man or male. So anyways, I don't know if entirely what's her quirk, because her quirk is making other people strong. So I guess maybe she's brave because she doesn't actually make herself strong. So if she goes into the battlefield, she could probably just get cooked unless she loves whoever is else with her on the battlefield and makes them stronger to protect her. But either way, I think the name is really cool, and the cool factor is kind of caring because her name kind of loosely represents her quirk, which I mean it's kind of a bit of a stretch. It was like La Amor, because you know love is amor. But either way, I think it's really cool. Stay tuned to the end of the video because I might edit my list. But for now, we're gonna move on to this dude. Okay, that's right. This guy's name is Garen, and his name is Muddied. And essentially, he can give people amnesia for like 5 minutes, essentially. So it messes with your memory. That's right. I'm not gonna spend too much time on him because he's not that important, to be honest. At least to me, I don't care much about him. So this guy's name is Muscular, and he's muscular. So I'm just gonna put him like here, because I mean it's just a word. It's literally just muscular. That's already a word that exists, muscular, and it's practical because it's just a word that already exists. It matches his quirk because he just boom, and he literally uses the muscles, gives himself a freaking stim pack like on Fallout 4, and boom, he's all buffed up. So yeah, he just, yeah, I mean you've seen it, okay? And then I mean it's not that cool because it's just a word. So if you really like this guy, sorry. Any of these characters that are low that you really like, sorry. Next up, we got our boy Reed Destro. Reed Destro, I know, the son of Destro, who was the original founder of the Meta Liberation Army. But here's the thing. So he just called himself Reed Destro because he's the son of Destro, right? But the word Destro itself comes from Latin, and it just literally means right-handed. Specifically, the dexterity of your hand, like the ability to write, not write specifically, but dexterity is like the ability to do something. Like if I'm able to write really well, then I have good dexterity, but it's specifically for the right hand, and it comes from Latin, destro. I don't know what the hell that has to do with his quirk, which is like being stressed. So like his stress, he's able to convert his stress into energy to attack. Like muscular, he usually just gets more muscular, right? Like he's looking like Broly out here, old brolic ass motherfucker. So it's not really compatible with his quirk, I don't think, because I mean I guess dexterity as in he's getting stronger. Like he gets stronger the more stressed he is. So I guess it can be loosely, but I think it's a bit of a stretch. But either way, literally stretch because he's okay, stop. Either way, I mean I think it's a really cool name. I like the Latin origin. It's kind of practical. I mean it's really riding off the coolness. Kind of the same thing with Overhaul. It's kind of really riding off the coolness because unless, like, again, I had to look it up to know what destro meant, right? And I'm a Latin student, like I study Latin. It's not something it's not very practical because what the hell does that even mean? So it's really riding off cool points. But either way, let's go and move on. Okay, so this girl's name is Curious. So it's just a word, so obviously it's going down here. Which again, if you've seen my last videos, like all of these are kind of placed in similar spots as like other characters, so I'm staying consistent with the theme of each rank, right? So regular words usually go in mid, and then these names are, wait, is this dude, speaking of it, is this dude no, his quirk is named Muddy. His name is just Garen. Wait, yeah, that's just his name. Okay, sorry. I was looking at this list and I was like, wait a second. His quirk is called Muddied, but his name is just his name. My bad. It's going down here. Okay, anyways, continuing. This girl's name is Curious because she's a politician, which has nothing to do with her quirk because her quirk is called Landmine. Where basically it's basically like Bakugo, except when she explodes stuff, she has to touch you. So she has to touch you, or she has to touch something and then it explodes. And then she can make it explode at any time she wants, but she has to come into contact with it. Unlike Bakugo, who could just explode stuff from his sweat. She has to touch something, and then at any point in time, she could just make that whatever she touched explode. So, but her quirk has nothing to do with her compatibility. It's not cool because it's just a word, and it's practical because it's just a word, but I mean, it's just a word. So yeah, it's going around here. Even less because it has nothing to do with her quirk. It just matches her occupation. She's a politician, so she's curious, I guess, about how life works. Okay. Anyways, moving on to Lady Nagant. I think that's her name, Lady Nagant. It's a cool ass name. It's gonna go about here because it's like, you know, like lady this, lady that, you know, like superheroes, super villains, like lady whatever, like, you know, like Superwoman or Wonder Woman, Supergirl, like Lady Noir or whatever it is, right? So it does follow that, so it's pretty practical. And Nagant is literally just the name of a rifle. It's perfectly compatible with her quirk because her name is Lady Rifle, and her arm is a rifle. Like her arm is a sniper rifle. Like Lady, it's kind of like Wonder Woman. She's a woman that has wondrous powers, right? Supergirl, she's a girl with superpowers. So she's a lady with a rifle, Lady Nagant, specifically a Nagant rifle, because a Nagant is a specific type of rifle. So there we go. It's practical because it follows naming conventions, as I just mentioned. It's compatible with her quirk because it's literally just her quirk, and then it's a really cool name. So it's gonna go above these two. And I might put this like here. So far in the villains, nobody's a U or a Z. But we'll see at the end of the video today. So wait till the end of the video. Next up, we got a girl, Himiko Toga. It's just her name. Next up, we got this ice dude, and it's just his name, Gitan. Stain. This dude, he be leaving stains on fools, literally, because I'm probably gonna put him like right here. His name is Stain, and it's just a word, so of course it's practical. It's compatible with his quirk because he be leaving blood stains because his quirk is called Blood Curdle. So basically, if he gets his hands on your blood, he can paralyze you. He be leaving blood. So essentially, he gets a sample of your blood, you're paralyzed, and then he leaves you as a blood stain on the goddamn pavement. Put your bitch ass on the news. You want a t-shirt now. Yeah, and it's a cool name. Really cool name. I like the name more than Overhaul, to be honest, because it's like Stain. And he's also leaves a stain on history, right? Like he's a very historical, well, not very historical like in the past, but he's leaving his mark on the world, if you will. And he's very much referenced later, even after his reign over society, and even in the fandom, he's very he's popular in the fandom. So anyways, Shiggy, you know where that's going. Then our boy Dobby. Dobby's name literally means cremation, so yeah, it's gonna go right here. You know, follows the same naming conventions. Practical because Dobby is I'm actually gonna move it up because it's Japanese. So Dobby is a Japanese word that literally means to cremate something, and I mean it's practical with his quirk. I mean it's compatible with his quirk because that's what he does. He just cremates people. That's his quirk. He got flames and he sets motherfuckers on fire. So yeah, facts. And it's Japanese, and like I said, this show is in a Japanese setting, made by Japanese people for Japanese people. So of course the Japanese names are going to be prioritized, like I have done in my other videos. So I'm staying consistent with that. So yeah, obviously Dobby is going to be like the highest of his section. It is just a word, but it's in Japanese, so it's a little bit special. You know what I'm saying? Facts. And it's a really cool name. It's really cool. Dobby. Cremation. Next up, we got a boy Spinner. Now I don't know what. It's just a word. I don't know why I'm gonna do that. This is our boy Spinner. I don't know why his name is Spinner. I don't know like what he's spinning. I mean, but his quirk is that he's just like a lizard, so he has like lizard strength, like spidey senses, spider, like he just has spider power like Spider-Man, and then like he's a lizard, so he just has lizard power like Froppy, right? Or you know, like just a frog. So I don't know what Spinner entirely means. I think I might move it might go here just because it's not really, I mean, it's just a word, so of course it's practical, but it doesn't really match his quirk at all, you know, unless spinner is supposed to. I don't really know how, because he just kind of, I mean, he has like a, or maybe because he's maybe he's like a crocodile, so like the death spin, because like when a crocodile or an alligator bites onto you, then they'll like spin, so that you're just like discombobulated. So like maybe that's why his name is Spinner, because like he's an alligator, so he does the death spin on his enemies, right? Because like in real life, when an alligator bites you, then they start like spinning in the water so that you can't get away, because now you're like all dizzy, like it discombobulates you. So maybe that's what the name Spinner is supposed to be, because he's a alligator or crocodile. There we go. So I mean, I guess it's kind of cool. I mean, it's better than freaking Curious, but it's still, I mean, it's a little, I'll probably bump it up here. It's a little, it's pretty creative. It's pretty cool. I mean, if that's what they're going for. But anyways, next up we got our boy Gigantomachia, and his name is really cool to me, so I'm gonna put him like up here, you know what I'm saying? Gigantomachia. That's like on some Optimus Prime type shit, like Gigantomachia, like on some Ultron or like World Breaker Hulk. I don't really know. Like it just fits him really well. Okay, it's not the most practical because it's like, well, I guess Gigantomachia means giant machine, like a giant machination, which is what Gigantomachia, if you break it down, it literally means giant machine, machination. So giant machine, because I mean he is kind of basically a machine. I mean, I don't know if he's literally a machine, like he's made out of robot parts, or if he's like I'm pretty sure he's a machine, but he's also like a killing machine, right? And like I mentioned, it's a really cool friggin' name, so I can't lie, ain't no cap. And then last up, all for one, it's just his name. It's just the name of his quirk, more specifically. So I mean, it's not as bad as just it being his name, but it's the name of his quirk. It's like if Deku's hero name was One for All, like that's, or All Mights. That's just lame as shit. That doesn't count. Now that we're at the end of the video, because that's all we're gonna be ranking, because I don't know the rest of these fools, so nor do I really care about them, and I'm sure you don't either. And again, and of course I'm not gonna do freaking no moves, because why would I do that? Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and edit the list and see if I want to make some changes. I noticed everybody's down at the bottom, which is yeah, all these people, it's just their names, so they're gonna stay right here. But I might move, nobody's gonna go in Z, period, but I might move him up here. I might do these three here, and then we've got Redestro, Gigantomachia, and then maybe Dobby here. I'll probably do it like that. No, Dobby's got to go down here because there's just one word. Gigantomachia, that can go here. Redestro, because Destro, you know, Destro, dexterity. Dobby, cremation, Japanese. Stain is gonna go here. Overhaul, I think Stain and Overhaul for me are interchangeable. It's just Stain sounds a little bit cooler. We got Skeptic, Gentle, Spinner, like the, you know, death spin, so I probably might move this up here. It sounds a little bit cooler if we're going with that context. Twice, muscular, curious. So this is essentially my list. You know, I felt bad kind of everybody being down here. Nobody's in Z, which is fine, but to be fair, it's a really cool name. I think, to be honest, any of these three are interchangeable, to be honest. Actually, here, not La Brava, because Brava is kind of a stretch from her quirk. Like these two are directly tied into the quirks. Her name just sounds cool, but it's not directly literally transcribable to her quirk. It's kind of a bit of a stretch, but either way, I think I'm mostly pretty much comfortable with this list. And in the comments, let me know if you're comfortable with this list. Let me know if I'm cooking, overcooking, undercooking. Let me know if I'm cooking, not cooking, overcooking, undercooking. And while you're down in the comments, letting me know all that shit, make sure to like and subscribe to join GOD, and to let me know you like this type of content. And since you like this type of content, make sure to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the content that you literally like. Last but not least, tell a friend or family member. Could be anybody. Could be a brother, sister, niece, nephew, son, daughter, mom, dad, uncle, granddad. Say goodbye to my hero for now. That's all I really got to say for today. So either way, anyways, bye bye.